Even if you start from another planet in another galaxy, there is a legendary and important limit where Madan Nabi, head of the Malaji galaxy, meets with Zabet and the Times of the galaxies at the Galaxy Owners meeting. Dr. Janba is tasked with safeguarding the galaxies against biological threats. As for the experiment without a permit, it produced a wild creature named Sita Ithnan Sita, and the boss is watching him. Janba is instructed to describe the creature's traits to help determine if it can coexist with humans, or if alternative measures such as destruction should be considered. Dr. Janba informs the council that the creature Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen is smarter than everyone, even a microcomputer, and that no one can match his intelligence. Basically, of course, this kind of talk makes everyone in the council nervous, so they're all scared of this wild creature. But then the council decides to give Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen a chance to prove that he's good, even if it's just a little bit. And that's our guy, Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen. Upon hearing this, he starts jumping, screaming, spitting, and banging on the glass, behaving like someone locked in a glass cage. Here, the president decided to exile Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen to the edge of the universe and completely destroy Dr. Janba's lab. Those were the procedures for the exile. And the one who has to take the genetic fingerprint of Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen first checks the devices as they track his DNA. And as soon as Dr. Janba came in to take the fingerprint, he spat on him. So at that moment, the devices went crazy, and Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen was able to do it. He escapes on a spaceship while the main boss, Bakaya Marji Maulid al-Nabi, orders his destruction. But who can accomplish it? Dr. Jamba confirmed that Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen is sneakier than everyone else, able to swing through anything and fly with the spaceship. On our dear planet, which is called Earth, the body, here Dr. Jamba intervened and told the head of the council that he might be able to fix his mistake. I mean, if you allow him to travel to planet Earth and bring back Sita Miawa Sita Wai Shreen, and he gets interrupted. After that, Bleakley expressed his desire to accompany Dr. Jamba on a trip to Earth due to the doctor's expertise in Earth's creatures. The council had approved Dr. Jamba's travel to Earth, provided that Bleakley joins him to supervise. Are Earth's environmental and biological systems amazing and good? What do you think, Uncle? We then visit Earth and meet Lilo, a lovely girl from Hawaii who adores animals. We see her eating fish and accompanying Cater to look after the chicks, because it's their right to live in freedom. After that, Lilo checks her watch, realizes she's late for head training, and rushes to make it. When she arrives, she finds her friends have turned their backs on her because she has none. At the main event, Lilo becomes nervous when she notices that every child has someone with them, except for the empty chair meant for her family. During the dance, the girl on stage with Lilo tries to push her. Nervous, Lilo ends up pushing back, knocking the girl off the stage. And after the event ends, Nani, who is Lilo's sister, comes to pick her up. She was late because her car broke down. Of course, Lilo was upset with her, as usual. She went home with Nani and found a note on the door saying, "Leave from here." Upon entering, they encountered Madame Keiko and that guy. What's his name? Keiko, yes. Her name is Madame Keiko. So what we know is that she's the specialist, the social worker responsible for Lilo. Anyway, Nani and the specialist didn't know how to get into the house until they went to the back door. Then Nani gave her a little push, and she went and broke the door and got in. Of course, the house was a total mess inside, and the social worker tells Nani that she has to write a report about what she saw so she can proceed. Lilo's will reveals that her parents have passed away, and her sister Nani is now her guardian. The social worker offers her a final opportunity to improve her situation, marking her initial meeting with the specialist before departing. They argue until Lilo asks her sister, "Is it because your imaginary friends told you to send Mom away?" At that moment, Lilo saw something flying in the sky. She thought it was a shooting star, or something from the other side that caught her attention. She left the room, and then she spent her time making a wish. And her wish was to have a friend. She wished for a real friend. He would stay with her, and Lilo's father would take care of her, possibly developing feelings for her. Essentially, this story is similar to Satellite 626, who crashed his spaceship repeatedly until landing on Earth. This is 626. He's celebrating. He's dancing after escaping, but ends up on his house's roof, where Tua, under Dr. Jamba's direction, electrocutes him, causing him to lose his strength. They took Asla to complete Experiment 626. Asla must act to discover his future and his lab. But Bleakley helps him understand that this light is what will let us find the location of Experiment 626. And of course, because 626 is smarter than any of them, he was trying to disconnect the power so no one could get close to him. I mean, he goes straight to the main electricity, takes the wire, and puts it, oh, you crazy kid, in the power. And after that, they put the fuse back in and turn it back on like that. Dr. Jamba and Bleakley. They won't know how to get to him, but they know he used to love chaos. So they keep walking except for the chaos that will happen and they'll find him. And indeed, he finds a cake of love. She appears strong, possibly due to the wind, excitement, and her happiness, which sometimes leads to breaking things and jumping around. They steal cakes, and the sugar-induced noise makes him see what's in front of him. A tourist bus nearly hits him, and Jamba and Pleakley hurry towards him in their forms. Being unfamiliar with life on Earth, they revert to their original forms upon touching a human, and they begin their search journey. The search is for Experiment 626, who was taken by the animal rescue group after the bus incident. The next morning at the shelter, Stitch wakes up inside a cage, surrounded by cages of dogs barking at him. He doesn't understand what they want from him or why they're barking, or what they want from him at all. When nervous, Stitch breaks out of his cage. She hides from him as he escapes, seeking another cake. He finds it, runs to it, and eats it. He has it in a tray, basically. The important thing is that this was actually the food that Dr. Jumba put there to throw at him, before the tranquilizer and catch him. Stitch shields himself with the tray until he returns to the shelter, then looks at the wall. A picture of the girl holding her dog and hugging him. And here, he decides to try to turn himself from an alien creature into a dog. And he starts acting like a dog so that maybe this girl will like him. At that moment, she decided to adopt him, allowing him to escape once again from Dr. Jamba. When they return home, Nani argues with Lilo about not wanting the strange creature there and refusing responsibility for him, prompting him to consider leaving. Their neighbor, who's like their grandmother, intervenes, explaining that Lilo feels lonely, and a dog like this will help her improve. So the Central Intelligence Agency sees the spaceship and decides to intensify its efforts because there's something unnatural going on. At that time, Lilo, her neighbor, and her grandmother, whose name is Sita Ten Sita in the English version of the cartoon, but Sita Zay Sita in the Arabic dub, were there. We'll use the English name for consistency. Anyway, after that, she brought them that big thing, and then some girls show up and start bullying Lilo. That's when Sita Ten Sita steps in, hits one of them, takes his toy car, messes with the wires, and the car starts moving at a crazy speed. Then they took Lilo with them until they reached the end of the mountain, and you'll see what happens next. Sita Ma'awa Sita Wa Ishrin is the sea. Lilo took Sita Ma'awa Sita Wa Ishrin to the shore to swim, but only Sita Ma'awa Sita Wa Ishrin did. It was obvious that he was afraid of the water and kept staying on the sand. Lilo and Sita Ma'awa Sita Wa Ishrin in Arabic had a great time until Nani took her watch from them. And of course, she didn't really see herself in this situation. I don't know why, but the important thing is that she didn't see herself in what Sita Ithnain Sita was doing. And of course, Lilo was in a parallel world. And that's it. She was considering what to name him initially before settling on Stitch. Oh, I forgot. The movie name is Lilo and Stitch. They confused me with Sita Ithnain Sita or Sita, I don't know, Ithnain, but it doesn't matter. If you named him Stitch from the start, why the confusion? After Lilo named him, we'll just call him Stitch. That's it. No more 66. The important thing is it's settled now. Dr. Jumba in Arabic. But he will make them run and put a tracking device in Arabic so they can know their location. Nani was late for her job, so she took Stitch with her. Stitch can't be controlled and causes chaos while expressing his love for Nani. Finance, upon arrival, he began smashing cups and plates, nearly setting the place ablaze. This prompted the manager to dismiss Nani, questioning their behavior. As he was about to strike her, they were both ejected from the establishment. Though not a proper word, Arabic handles it. Nani, Deary, and Steedes head home afterwards. And the one watching them was the head of intelligence. She says she knows, Nina, that this house is basically, and that there were signs before the spaceship, you know? He asks the ship, we had nothing to do with the companions. Stitch's remains enter the house, and he finds it tidy and beautiful. Confused, he starts breaking and messing up everything, wondering how such a place could stay so pristine. No, stop it, my son. We have to mess everything up. Another fight breaks out between Nani and Lilo, and Stitch has to go back to the shelter again. But then, Lilo tells Nani that Stitch is part of her family. After that, Lilo and Stitch go to her room to spend time together. She takes out a photo album and tells him how beautiful and happy Nani used to be. And she tells him that a family shouldn't be chaotic. And then she teaches him how to dance the traditional hula dance. She then teaches him the traditional hula dance. Hawaii and here, Sataitish, oh your beauty. Sataitish means to learn and understand what Lilo is telling him. And I'm coming to protect her. God bless you, Sataitish. On the second day, the head of intelligence arrives with the social worker. And that's when Nani and Lilo find out that she is also a social worker. Because he wants to get closer to this house and its devices. Because he wants to take it and leave with it. I want to know if he's a human director, where he's from, and why he has a spaceship despite intelligence agencies being involved. The important thing is that Lilo herself tells him that his appearance doesn't suggest he's a social specialist. This is a social specialist, but not just a specialist. I mean, he's a man. Jay came in clueless. And while they're talking, he takes a hair sample from Stitch to analyze it. After that, Nani takes Lilo and Stitch to look for a job. And when Nani had interviews after work, Lilo would be learning with Stitch how to be calm and behave well, and then Nani comes out. She tells them that all the employers refuse to hire her, and she's sad. The best thing that happened was Stitch learning good manners. He wanted people to love him, not cause chaos. He became friends with them. He brought Nani a surfing ad and a surfing lesson. And of course, Nani was very happy because this is something she's loved for a long time. On the Alexandria beach, the breeze was blowing by the sea. Stitch, of course, was afraid of the water, so he just sat there eating sand. Later, Stitch saw a man surfing with his dog. Feeling inspired, he told Lilo he wanted to surf with her, overcoming his fear and getting on the board. Stitch was happy with Lilo and Nani until Dr. Jamba and Pleakley arrived on a boat and shot Stitch with a tranquilizer dart, hitting him. A large wave capsized the boat and surfboard. Nani then rescued Lilo and Stitch from drowning. And who do they blame for all this? They blame the head of intelligence from outside, who then finds himself in trouble with the authorities. Nani took Lilo to the hospital, and luckily she was fine. But she's thinking, what is she going to do about the hospital bills, Mr. Kento? And here, of course, social services tell her that she can give up custody of Lilo, and the government will help cover the hospital expenses. You're a true specialist, but Nani knows this will deeply hurt Lilo. And how could she leave her? Anyway, when they get back home, Lilo tells Nani that she understands. Why is she giving up custody? She expressed her unconditional love, stating that she's doing this for her own good. The crucial question is, who was listening to this conversation? Uncle Mina Stitch, who helped him, gets upset after overhearing and returns to the shelter, sitting in the same cage as before. I, the viewer, see him and wonder about his sadness. What's wrong with you, boss? I mean, you can't be some kind of alien being? This story is about real humans, and I know them well. I mean, he's the father of the viewer. On the Prophet's birthday, Dr. Janaba received a call from the president of the Federation of Galaxy Kings. She was glad that humans, especially Yazim and Wakis, finally understood the 606 situation. Nickel's heart urged him to inform the Japanese guy that his mission was complete. She planned to leave the wandering islands to resolve the remaining issues independently. She warmly welcomed Nickel, who decided to play the Stanish again the next morning with the social specialist and head of intelligence. They kept knocking on my eyes, so I would give up Lilo's will, that's all. But they would just enter the house and look for Lilo in chaos, and they wouldn't find her, so they'd go out searching for her outside. But Lilo was actually sitting, looking for the Stanish, and she would always find him in the shelter. And here we find out that he decided to leave because he couldn't handle all these problems. So, of course, she hugs him, comforts him, and tells him at that moment that it's not really his problem and that all families have their flaws. And in this emotional moment, Amina Jamba enters with them, holding a space gun, and at that moment, he opens portals between worlds. But Satich, being smart, took the gun and used it to make holes in the ceiling and floor. Jamba started going through the floor portal and kept falling out of the ceiling one over and over again. Remind me, what did Dr. Elsing say about the block? Anyway, the important thing is that this was Stitch's plan. He can assist their escape to the house and side, allowing him to close the portals, trapping him. Shifting between human and normal form, he reaches Lilo's house and hides. Jamba searches for Stitch and the others as they use a gun to open portals, moving from room to room. This continues until Jamba finally gets rid of the kids. He started smashing and breaking everything in the house because he knows humans are hurt by sweet memories. The aliens know this, but you, lacking feelings, didn't realize it until you broke down. I'm sharing my important subtitles with Jamba's friends for the best. He entered Lilo's parents' room, making Lilo nervous and challenging him. The dog shoots the gun in her parents' room. Stitch intervenes, hits Jamba, and threatens him with the gun. But that lowlife Jamba, Lilo heard that you, 626, took her in for protection, not love. She's upset, and Stitch won't admit his mistake because of it. He decided to isolate himself, but of course, that path isn't easy. That was his mission. He was supposed to capture Stitch and hand him over to the Grand Councilwoman. But Jamba kept Stitch to develop and create him. It's 627, not 626 like he says. We'll either develop him or give him a new case. Jamba placed Stitch in his spaceship, surprised that the creature, whose name he forgot, could have such feelings. He wanted to use a device to remove that emotional part from Stitch. Stitch discovers that the person was following them on the spaceship. He confronts her about how they freed her. The spaceship's button was difficult to press, causing the light to go out. Stitch hit Jamba, took his device, and threw it out of the spaceship. The spaceship was landing rapidly, and Lilo and Stitch were unsure if they could jump into the water before it sank into the ocean. Stitch is seen standing on a piece of metal in the water, searching for Lilo. Unable to find her, he dives underwater. He found a part of the spaceship had fallen on Lilo, so of course he quickly went down with all his strength and saved Lilo. But I feel like I didn't know he would do that, and that I couldn't do it myself. I tried once or twice, and I didn't know until I reached Stitch, and the main thing I learned from him was that he surrendered. At that moment, Nani came and rescued Lilo. She decided Stitch had to stay underwater, but then went down to get him. She brought Stitch up to the shore, saving him. He was not breathing, and the life support device was ineffective. We thought we needed more than 50 volts of electricity. The important thing was that they would deliver it. Afterwards, I started doing chest compressions to give him more electricity. Does Sadish finally wake up? Do you celebrate at night before another spaceship suddenly appears, revealing who is inside? A ship from Chief Margie, the Prophet's generator. And at that moment, she's with the soldiers who protect her, and they land to capture Sita, Tinine, Sita. And indeed, Sita, Tinine, Sita, which is that Satich surrenders himself. But he asks her to let him say goodbye to his friends because he will miss them. But her operations head saw Satich's good side and told her that the decision against Sita and Tinine would be reversed. So if you really want this strong creature, maybe you can keep him on planet Earth, as long as no one knows anything about him. So, of course, the head of intelligence decides, and also that he won't report it to anyone. Oh my, what happened? What's this sweetness, Chief Amwam? Afterward, he was to monitor Satich's activities to determine if he was causing trouble. But it didn't mean he had won yet. The events are consistent and take their course, and they simplify planet Earth and send the clouds. This is just a summary. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so you can get all the new updates. And that was with you, Haduta Watuta. Tuta, the story is over.